All right, welcome to podcast number 2. My name is John Arrivo, owner-operator of Willy Cafe, Willy Coffee. We're inside WILLY-X is our studio, creative arm of our 3 companies. Really cool topic I want to talk about today. It's very topical for me because I'm thinking about putting products like this in my store. We're going to chat a little bit about the CBD and hemp space, specifically things like Delta 8, Delta 9. We're going to talk about really the explanation of how this has become legal to sell in a retail setting and why I should be selling it and what products I should be selling. So we're with Mike and Hassan from Not Your Bakery, which is a company that creates products that essentially is inside the CBD, hemp, Delta 8, Delta 9 space. And these guys have been in the space for quite a while, and I'm really excited because they have some really good information around this topic. So, Mike,
Hello.
Hassan.
Thanks for having us, John.
No problem.
Thanks, John.
And so I think, Mike, you're going to take over the real quick description of Not Your Bakery and tell us a little bit about the company real quick.
Yeah, so Not Your Bakery was really revolving around the fact that a lot of people in my family, especially my grandmother and those up there that were looking for alternatives, and those alternatives being CBD and THC tinctures and of that nature. So I took a big fascination with that, and I started to work with a small company who was CBD and Delta 8 driven and whatnot, and started to learn from them and whatnot. And Hassan had been in the industry for nearly 10 years now himself with the CBD. So we geared towards focusing on terpene profiles that were very confectionery, cultivated, kind of, the best flavors you get in the kitchen, but in your CBD supply. So that's what we were focused on at Not Your Bakery in the beginning.
Very good. Hassan, you want to add anything to that?
Yeah, so when we decided to come out with Not Your Bakery in this industry, the reason being the industry itself is very unregulated. So we saw that we had a huge opportunity in being able to not only use our combined experience, but source the highest quality products. A lot of the biggest companies in the industry are based out of South Florida, so a lot of the connections are right down the street. We created those relationships, and we really focus on delivering a high-quality product, third-party tested, that we can not only trust our grandmothers to use, but really focus on the end consumer, as well as establishing strong business relationships with people who have like-minded visions like ourselves. So it's been about a year now since the company started, and we're very proud to say we're in about 4,000 stores nationwide, and we're just getting started.
Nice. I love it. 4,000 stores. That's awesome. Just after a year. But it shows your guys' experience in the field, and you know how to put product into a lot of stores. You know how to build product categories. You know how to build a brand, and then you execute. And it sounds like it's going pretty well, which is great to hear. So, what I want to know a lot about is the specifics around. I think more of the Delta 8, Delta 9 space. I think that we're all pretty used to now the CBD side of things, topical lotions, tinctures. I think that's been used for quite a while, right? How many years has the CBD space been open for sale in the retail?
So CBD really became mainstream, I'd say, toward the beginning of 2008, once the 2008 Farm Bill was passed, which made any hemp-derived product with less than 0.3% THC content federally legal.
Okay.
All right. So once the floodgates open, and a lot of, you could say, a lot of companies with a lot of money were on the sidelines waiting to get in, that did get in, you would start seeing CBD all over all your news channels. Yeah. You find it in big box stores. Publix offers CBD. Yeah. So the whole purpose at that point was to provide a product that was non-psychoactive, that wasn't going to get you high, that can provide you with all the medicinal benefits that marijuana THC offers as well.
Got it.
So after time, the CBD industry itself peaked. It went through a hyper growth phase.
Yeah.
And then now what happened is a lot of people, I'd say about 3% of the total population really benefit because they suffer from certain ailments
Sure.
that CBD helps with specifically.
Sure.
So where the industry evolved to, mostly motivated by people trying to make money
Yes, of
using
course.
CBD,
Yeah.
was if you Delta 8. Now Delta 8 was created as of the beginning of 2021 is when that became first mainstream.
Okay. And so Delta 8 is CBD.
It's derived from CBD.
derived. Okay, understood.
Through a conversion process.
Through a conversion process. All right.
All right. Now that conversion process, when it's done, Delta 8 is an isomer of Delta 9, meaning it is only one bond less. It almost has the identical chemical properties of Delta 9 THC.
Okay.
So therefore, it has a lot of the same properties. It has a lot of this. It has these psychoactive effects, which are considered a lot more mild
Yes.
than Delta 9 itself. But the beauty of it is it can be bought in any brick and mortar shop. It can
Yes.
be sold over the counter, and it can be sold in several different delivery forms, whether it's edibles, smokables, topicals, vapables.
Yep.
You name it. You know, people are getting real creative nowadays.
Yeah. And so when we talk about CBD and we talk about Delta 8, these are hemp products, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And so then we move into Delta 9. So explain to me, who wants to explain to me Delta 9?
So Delta 9 is THC.
Okay.
So that is the property, the chemical itself that comes from marijuana that people have been getting high for since the dawn of time.
Yes.
Right. So
Once they figured it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So marijuana has high percentages of Delta 9 THC. Right.
Okay, got it.
Hemp, which is the legal cousin
Yes.
of marijuana, has very small percentages naturally of THC
Got it.
content within the actual plant. So through the CBD industry, you always, in order for your product to be legal, it must have less than 0.3% THC by dry weight volume.
Got it.
So an oil, a CBD tincture can have 99.7% CBD and 0.3% THC. Anything above that is illegal if
Okay.
tested.
Yeah, then now I understand that a little bit better.
Okay.
Good.
All right. So now what's happening is the industry, farmers are being able to grow hemp with higher percentages of THC.
Yeah.
But that THC is extracted into an oil form from hemp,
Yep.
and now it is put into products, specifically edibles, where you can put up to 10 milligrams, like in this product right here is our jelly.
Yes.
Delta 9 gummies. We have 30 count, 10 milligrams of THC per gummy.
Yep.
Now, the reason this is legal is it has 10 milligrams of THC, just like you would find at a dispensary.
Got it.
But it comes from hemp, first of all. And secondly, the gummy itself weighs 4 grams.
Yeah.
10 milligrams comes out to about 0.25%
Okay.
of this product
All right.
is THC.
Understood. Okay, cool. And
Derived from hemp.
derived from hemp. All right.
not
And,
forget.
and so when you, you said that your family was really looking for products, and your family is where? Located where?
Boynton, Boca Del Rey.
Okay, so
basically.
they were looking, and we are a state that we don't have legalized marijuana.
Right.
And so if you don't get your card and you still want some relief, you got to go and you got to find alternative products in the marketplace, which is what you guys have created.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of what has been the driving force, really, it sounds like, for your guys' company was maybe family members that needed that. And then you guys were like, well, we can make it because we understand the rules and we understand how it works. And so that's probably how it all came to fruition,
Make it
correct?
safely, make it properly, and make it, fine-tuned towards, especially the people, like I said, my grandmother uses it for specific things. A sativa will drive her wild, but an indica will do the right thing for her
Got
and
it.
allow her to relax and sleep and take away the pain that
Okay,
should
cool.
be.
So I like it. All right. So I think the next question is going to be, Mike, you come into my store, you come into Willy Cafe for raw juice all the time. And, you're looking for a 100% organic product, derived from nature that is highly potent. And you're doing it for your health. So what I'm trying to find out, and the reason why we're kind of having this conversation, is what is going to be ultimately the best product for Willy Cafe to put into their store that's legal, it's good for a retail environment. And I mean, what would be your suggestion for that? I'll assume it would probably be the gummy, right?
Well, any ingestible.
Yeah.
And any ingestible. So whether you like to eat chocolate or Rice Krispie treats or colorful gummies, you know, that could be it. Otherwise, it also could be putting into your fresh juices.
Yeah. As a tincture.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then any type of tea. I mean,
got it.
As he said, you could do a tincture that was 99.7% and then 0.3% THC. And I'll tell you what, that 0.3% THC in a fresh juice drink, will actually give you a nice feeling.
Interesting.
So, with that said, you know, I know you guys do more than just juice, although that's what I like to get from Willie's. But you know, the teas and everything, coffee. You know, it's limitless in the ingestible department as long as you're doing, you know, it doesn't have to be D9 per se, because you can do Delta 8 drinks without, like, you know, worrying on or going on the side of caution. Okay. You can easily do that.
And so if I had my license, my CBD and hemp license, which I can go get very easily actually from the FDACS, and I can sign my paper and the whole thing, and then I'm ready to go like everybody else. Yeah. I then am allowed to make in my store products myself.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. So, I mean, as long as you're deriving those raw ingredients from a reputable source that can provide all the legal documentation of where that product came from, and it was tested for certain, you know, not only THC content, but you want to test for no metals, no pesticides.
Okay, gotcha.
And you have the right facility for it.
And the beauty of that is, you know, we have all the resources to be able to do so. So whenever we come out with a product, not only is it third-party lab tested, but we're very particular about who we source from, and the reason being is this is an unregulated market. Yeah. So in that sense, you really have to go with the reputable source. But the beauty of what Willie's Cafe will be able to provide is something that dispensaries can't even provide.
Yeah, right.
You'll be able to sell them not only a custom CBD Delta 8 or Delta 9 based product depending on the customer's needs. You know, as we mentioned, there's customers who do not want any psychoactive effect, just the health benefits.
Okay, got it.
And there's a lot of customers who are going to want, or just end consumers who would like a product like Delta 8, which has tons of benefits, you know, whether it's going to help you with your appetite, it's going to help you with your sleep, it's going to help. And none of this is FDA regulated, so none of it is, I'm not making any claims.
Yes, of course. Yes.
This is just what it has shown to do,
okay,
you know?
Got it.
So, and not only that, but can help with pain. So as you know, the psychoactive effects have benefits in themselves, but then also the CBD itself carries those medicinal properties that you can't find, through pharma. You know, it's a very natural, safe alternative, which a lot of people have gone to now.
Yeah, for sure. Understood. I mean, I would tell you for sure, instead of taking a pill, I would much rather take a CBD product, a Delta 8 product, a Delta 9 product. If I had some, I mean, I'm 2 ACLs in now. So with my knee, I could probably use a little bit of assistance there. Yeah. And so now what I'm doing is I'm just trying to get my research done and figure out exactly what is the perfect fit inside my store. Like every other product that we do, we look at every product individually. We make sure that if we put a new product out, we want to have the best, most informed version of that product. Best tasting, best quality for our customers. So that's why we have these conversations. Yeah. That's why we do our research. I'll assume too that let's say that I did put some type of like tincture in the store that we would then put into a smoothie or a juice or something like that. Sure. You guys probably would offer some training to us. Absolutely. On the amounts, the recipes and things like that, right?
Yeah, I mean, in this industry, education is key. Just because there are so many different hemp derivatives available on the market right now, and that your end consumer isn't always going to know what's best fitted for them, because a lot of times it does take trial and error. Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. So being able to offer everything, but having a good fundamental understanding of what you're offering to those customers. And that's also why we offer a lot of educational literature, whether it's on our website or in brochures that we include with customer orders. And then, of course, we're very hands-on. So whenever we do client trainings, we'll go to a lot of our distributors, we'll fly out to them and then educate them and their sales reps on the products, just so that they're better equipped. Got it.
All right. So I want to ask a question to both of you. Where do you see the future of this? Where's it going? Let's talk specifically about the future of the CBD space, the Delta 8 space, the Delta 9 space. real quick, your opinion on where the future of that is. And then we'll ask about, in comparison to legalized marijuana, right? Eventually, potentially in Florida, right?
Absolutely.
And then potentially nationwide, right? So where's the future for you, do you think, with CBD Delta 8, Delta 9?
Well, the future for us all, I believe, is cannabis. It just comes to it whether you like a psychoactive benefit or a healing benefit, really. Okay. So once we get to that point and everybody can make that decision for themselves, that'd be a wonderful thing in all the states. But for Florida specifically, I see it. The agricultural farm bill was in 2018, so it's up for renewal nationwide. So I see it, just expanding slightly, perhaps.
Okay.
If not being alleviated with some of the, negative restrictions that it's been given without, this type of information that we're able to give to people.
Got it. So you think it might be opened up a little bit more?
Ever so slightly. I mean, we already got a lot of wiggle room in the CBD arena, right? But I just see it improving until the time we get to where we're all at the crazy land.
The trajectory is, maybe with Not Your Bakery, is towards THC.
Growth. No, I think.
Well, yes,
just growth, of course, like always. But like the end goal, is marijuana.
Our partners in cannabis, which is where we make all of our vegan, hemp derived Delta 9 THC gummies, where he makes his proper cannabis gummies on separate machines as they are equipped to do that in Michigan and things
right,
like
in the correct states. What's your future outlook?
So I agree with Mike wholeheartedly. I just think with the way the cannabis industry has proven to take very long to make change, that we're looking, his vision is now 5-10 years down the road that we will be fully integrated into everything derived from marijuana cannabis.
Okay.
But for the time being, even if I generally believe if Florida were to go recreational with marijuana tomorrow, it would not negatively impact the hemp industry.
Okay.
And for a few reasons. First of all, this industry doesn't have to jump through the hoops that you do in the marijuana industry, which is heavily regulated, heavily taxated. All right. And then not only that, but you have a lot of consumers nowadays, people who are using the plant, that do want to get high, but prefer the more mild, mellow version of Delta 8. You can buy it over the counter down the street. Unfortunately, there's still a very negative stigma that does partake with walking into a dispensary and buying marijuana. A lot of people don't feel comfortable doing it.
Yeah.
But they can walk into Willy's Cafe and buy any Delta 8 infused product they like. So, and then of course, not to mention CBD, which is entirely different from marijuana and regulating that industry. Because you could always drive CBD. Its highest content comes from hemp.
Sure.
So there'll always be a market for that product as well.
Understood.
So I think there, ideally, even in the future, I believe these are two different industries we're talking about.
Right. Okay. I agreed in the sense, some people are going to want the healing effects and some people are going to want the psychotropic.
Yeah. Some people want a very, very mellow version of
some people want a hybrid
of some relief.
Yeah. They want more mild weed.
Yeah, of course, right, and they're like just making crazier and crazier weed.
Yeah, the percentages just keep going up.
So okay, cool. All right, well, it's kind of like getting my brain going about how we're gonna go about offering it our way, right? And we do everything our own way, which is a well thought out, very informed way of doing anything, really. So I think that my final question to you guys is, I think we should just talk specifically about Florida here because that's where we live and that's where we work and that's where we invest and that's where our families are. What's your opinion on what's going to happen in Florida? Because all these other states are going legal, okay? And mainly for tax purposes, more revenue to the state. I guess, and we'll ask you guys both. First question is, why has it not been legalized in Florida yet? We're a coastal state. We're a vacation state. So it's like, duh.
Right.
Okay. And then when do you guys foresee it's going to happen?
go ahead and take over. So I think Florida is a very unique state as opposed to a lot of other states where it has become already legalized or recreationalized in the sense where it's usually more progressive thinkers where not to say any party is less open-minded than the other, but I know that some are less open to change than others.
Okay.
So one thing is for sure is that medical marijuana in Florida so far has been a failure.
Has it?
Yes, the industry hasn't. There's been multiple dispensaries being shut down that open. The program itself hasn't yielded the return they expected.
Okay.
And so one alternative to that would be let's go ahead and recreationalize it now. Let's open up the market so that we can get those tax dollars and benefit the state. But at the same time, this industry that we're in, right, it's a multi-billion-dollar industry.
Sure.
Annually.
Yep.
And also the biggest players in our industry are based out of South Florida. So that's also a huge tax revenue for the state in that sense alone.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it just depends on how bad the state of Florida needs it. And with the amount of tourism we have, I don't foresee it happening anytime
because
soon.
they're only here for, 2 months, 3 months out of the year,
or 2 days,
if not
Yeah.
right, maybe a couple days, maybe a week.
Yeah.
Get somebody to clean the house while they're here. Anyhow, but the point is, you're right. I get it. That I guess I could see why one, because there's a cannabis dispensary on one corner, and then you'll actually see it turn into a different like go from this to Green Dragon cannabis, and as if it were a restaurant that was being flipped. Which in any other place in America you wouldn't see a dispensary getting flipped because it's popping.
Yep.
Always.
Yep.
So
Absolutely. I think that our market for these products is, in Florida and South Florida specifically, it's just absolutely monstrous.
Yeah.
So for it not to be fully legalized recreationally, the amount of loss of revenue is just unbelievable to me.
It's just
And
it's an injustice to the people, honestly.
and then the tax that could be garnered from it is unbelievable too, right? So
certainly, man.
I feel like it's just a space that is I need to have so many more conversations about it and learn more about it, because I feel like I now agree with you. I think that this is always going to be around for sure, because I also agree that there are people that are looking for a much super mellow version of a product that they want to buy. They want it in a relaxed, carefree setting where they just walk in the door, grab a smoothie, grab their thing, their D9 or D8 product or CBD product, and they go about their jelly product, their not your bakery product, and they go about their day. Whereas you're right, they might not want to have to go get the card, then go into the dispensary where they don't feel so comfortable. Yeah. Right. So now you have triggered a little bit of some ideas in my brain around the stigma of going into a store and buying that in a fully locked down store. Yeah. Right. I understand. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So it was great, guys. I think that we did it. We got through our initial round of questions. Yeah. And I'm way more informed now on CBD, Delta 8, Delta 9 products. It's just coming from hemp, which the D9 is essentially the same as marijuana. It just has a lower content of THC, correct? And then you guys derive it the same way, correct, that they do for marijuana THC products, and then you put it into edible gummy form.
Any type of edible form, yeah.
Fantastic. Well, we got through it. Thanks a lot, guys. Appreciate
Absolutely.
it.
Pleasure, man.
Thank you for having
I'm
us,
glad
man.
we all understand a little more about it.
And maybe we'll chat soon and have way more to talk about at a future date.
I'll be by
Sound good?
tomorrow for my
sounds
juice,
awesome.
man.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. All right.